Okay, I'm live.
Live?
Yes, sir. I just bypassed the YouTube. It looks like. Do you see them live or no?
I don't know. How do I see it live?
On my YouTube channel. Does it say anything?
I just tried to. So let me see.
Just go to video. Is it anything? No. Videos.
Live.
Yeah, we're live. We're live. There's gonna be a delay. That's my desktop screen. Oh, it closed my program. Yeah.
What's up, dog?
Can you hear yourself? Let me take my headphones out.
Mic check. Yo, you sound clean as fuck.
Yeah, because I have my headphones too.
You sound just as good.
Yeah, this speaker is pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds.
You can hear
It
yourself?
sounds really good.
Maybe you should sit closer.
Yeah, I'll sit close.
Sit in that seat. Oh, you can sit here.
Yeah.
All right.
You know about this shit, dog.
We're going to run the conversation back a little bit because we're talking about our new subscriber, VIC Productions. Okay. There's a shout out to my 36 subscribers now, 37 subscribers. VIC Productions. And shout out to Patreon if you guys want to support my projects. Patreon.com/JoelArmour.
Just let me do a voice check. Voice check.
If you want to donate to the Cash App, it's cash.app.
You want to connect the mic upstairs?
Yeah, if you want. Cash.app/$JoelArmour. PayPal.me/JoelArmour.
Actually, sounds good.
What else? Lulu.com, Spotlight JoelArmour for my books, my sci-fi books. Yes. Okay. You guys didn't hear that, but she'll say it again later. My art page on Facebook, facebook.com/joel.armour.art. So we live. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, but they're not as important.
Damn. So what we talking?
I had to run it back. We're talking about some of my favorite RPG games, some of our favorite RPG games, and we're talking about Final Fantasy VII being amazing. I was talking about me breeding the perfect chocobos to get the Apocalypse Sword with the triple materia growth. The chocobo races were my thing. I bred the perfect chocobos, fed them the right things for speed attributes, for everything. I was killing it. I mean, I told, I have my cousins here, my friend Vic, and I was telling them about how I showed my cousin the other day. I just picked it up the other day. Wasn't even sure if I had the right setups for my materia and everything.
Yeah.
And I got into a fight with Ruby Weapon, and I had 4x, magic, 4x summon, W summon, all the secret materials, everything, right? And what we ended up seeing was 20 minutes straight of Cloud re-summoning Knights of the Round for 20 minutes straight until Ruby Weapon was dead. And that was an experience because it just reminded me how godlike you can get in that game.
So they said that there's about really rare items in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go over, one of the rarest items in the game was the War Gong.
Oh shit!
I don't know what the War Gong is.
Damn.
Let me know if these items sound any familiar.
War Gong, the War Gong.
Let me spit them out and see if any of these sound familiar.
Okay.
War Gong, Holy Torch, Gravity Ball, Ghost Hand, Dragon Fang.
Dragon Fang, yeah.
Those are like the rarest items in the game, meaning that it's so rare to pick up that even if you wanted to steal, you still had a chance of like 0.01% of actually getting it.
Yeah, that's crazy. They do sound familiar. I can't remember the name of all the final weapons, but I got Yuffie's final weapon, Cloud's final weapon, Barrett's final weapon. Sid Hightower got his final spear. His final spear. I think I got everyone's final weapon, so I just can't remember. One of them sounds like it might have been Kate Sith's. One of them might have been Kate Sith's final weapon or something. But that game was amazing. Like the grind was actually fun because of the fun ways you could win stuff, like chocobo racing to get the secret materials. You know. Yeah. Just breeding the right chocobos, feeding them the right stuff, growing materia. The strategy was crazy. I remember I got so godlike that I had to turn off counterattack because I'd kill an enemy before morphing them for a strength point or a magic point or something. It was crazy, man. That was a game where you could really surpass your limits. And the new remake looks amazing. Looks really amazing. But I tell you what, if they ever remade Tactics, I would pay whatever it costed. If they ever remade Tactics, I would pay whatever it costed. If they ever remade Final Fantasy VI, I would be there. Definitely be there. But I just spoke about the wonders of Tactics. The story is my favorite story for Tactics. I mean,
why is it free?
Tactics is my thing. Final Fantasy Tactics. But anyway, back to drawing.
What are you doing right now?
I'm using Autodesk.
Let's say for me, like I want to get to know somebody with their face.
I'm using. I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook right now. Using Autodesk Sketchbook right now. For your information, I also have GIMP on here. So hopefully tonight I will be finished with this really fast comic I made over the last 5 days. Coronavirus. That's what I should have hashtagged. Was coronavirus.
New York is 50% of the cases. So Tinder in New York, everyone's just talking on Tinder. No one's like, all the talking activity is at home. That's good. Yeah, it's actually.
We could talk about final weapons and tactics too, man. I did what it took to get some of those final weapons for tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics is my end all be all. If they give Final Fantasy Tactics the love that they gave the 7 remake, I'm in. I'm totally in. No doubt about it. I wanted to love 12. I love the gameplay of 12. But I just didn't care for the story of 12.
Ooh, can you tell me what you think?
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, I did. So I need to write it down.
Yeah, man. But for real, when is the artist of Berserk, that manga, when is he coming back? These mangas have been in hiatus for years. Vagabond.
Who's that?
There's some mangas called Vagabond. Some of my favorite manga artists of all time. Takahiko Inoue. There's Vagabond. He did Slam Dunk back in the day. He did Real. He did a couple different things. One of the best manga artists out there. And then also another best manga artist, the guy who does Berserk. You know, was it Ayamuto or something? I forgot what his name was. You could probably find that. But Berserk is amazing. Vagabond's amazing. And they've both been on hiatus, like, you know, for years. Everyone's waiting. The internet is waiting.
Do you ever feel like RPGs ever gave you like a life lesson?
Oh, definitely.
Because like I've always felt like the one game that really gave me the biggest life lesson was Fable. And Fable and Fable 2 gave me like the biggest life lessons because you couldn't progress the game unless you own property.
That's crazy.
And you had to collect grit on the properties you made.
That's crazy.
And it was like Kev, you remember playing Fable 2? And we were like, we play like multiplayer games and like we would play together.
Fable, if you like steal from the town, the cops come get you. And if you like kill somebody, then you start getting eviler and eviler.
Right.
That's crazy.
And it changes the look of your character. Your character will start getting tattoos, and he'll start like losing hair and shit.
Yeah, and you had to make decisions. So like you have a morality rate. So like anytime you made a bad decision, your morality rate would go down.
That's crazy.
So like that game just made me just like want to save money and just like buy the baddest shit. Like it just took a time for you to save, and then once you got the item you wanted, you just wanted to spend the money that you've always wanted to get. It's like that was like the life lesson that I got, was just like saving, and it took time to save, but once you saved enough gil, you can actually buy whatever it is that you want. So that feeling of like getting something that you could afford because you worked so hard for it is the best feeling that I've experienced in the game, which that taught me a valuable lesson in the real world. You know?
Yeah, hell, man, I never even played Fable. I had a kid that would tell me about Fable and Lord of the Rings and stuff, and I would love those sessions and stuff in school. We just talk. I think it was an American history class that I was acing anyway, and we just taught that whole class. You tell me about all this stuff.
Really?
But yeah, I remember those days, man. I remember. I had no idea about any of that stuff he was telling me. But
all right, so let's go over. Actually, I don't know. Do we have anybody listen? What do you want? Just talk and go over your top 5 best RPGs of all time that you've played.
Damn. My favorite is Tactics, obviously. Final Fantasy Tactics. The family bonds, the whole system, the recruitment of soldiers, even your enemies you could recruit. The final weapons, everything. I just love that game. The story wins me over. Everything wins me over. Favorite gameplay of an RPG though is 12 for me, but I don't care about the story. 7 was great. If I had to choose my top 3, I also liked Legend of was it Grandia? Grandia 2?
Oh, Grandia! Oh my god!
Grandia 2 was fun.
That shit was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, it was on Dreamcast. It was fun. I actually played with 3 of my buddies. We all got the game for our Dreamcast, and then we'd meet up and be like, "Yo, did you beat this guy? Did you get this move?" We would show each other. Yeah. So it was cool.
Pretty dope.
It was cool.
So
Grandia 2 was good. I don't know if it's in my top 3, but I'm gonna say Tactics for sure. I didn't beat Final Fantasy 6, but I loved that game too.
Right.
So it's tough for me, man, to choose 3. There was a game I didn't even beat either, Rogue Galaxy. That is amazing. That is an amazing RPG. It's gonna make it. I'm gonna say Tactics, then that game.
Wow, Rogue
Tactics
Galaxy?
And Rogue Galaxy.
I can't say I've ever heard of the game or even played it.
It's amazing. I actually have it for PS2.
PS2?
Yeah, I actually have it right here.
Who made it?
Kev played a little bit of it. The game is amazing. It's
better
amazing.
than Final Fantasy 12.
12 to me, 12 is amazing just for the gameplay. It's the same makers of Tactics, which means that Tactics could have been given that treatment, But obviously, like 20 years later, years later, not 20 years, but maybe 15 years, however long. Because Tactics came out in '97, and 2006 was I think it's 2006 that Final Fantasy 12 came out.
Wow. Okay.
But it's the same team, and they left halfway through the game too with a disagreement. The story just wasn't my thing. But
Kyle, we about to play Smash. Come down.
Just know that there's a lot of Tactics fans out there. Maybe they're just not talking loud enough, but there's people who stream tournaments right now where they mod Tactics and they do tournaments. AI battles, because you do that in Tactics. You could do that. Auto battles, choose priorities and stuff. And it's fun to watch. Monster versus monster, all this other stuff.
Monster versus monster.
Yeah, crazy stuff. They got chocobos that could send down meteors and stuff. It's just crazy. Crazy stuff.
But so the top 3. So Final Fantasy, Tactics, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tactics.
What's the game for the PS2 that I haven't heard about?
Rogue Galaxy. Rogue Galaxy I'm gonna put up there, even though I haven't beaten it. Even though I have not beaten it, from what I played, it was amazing.
Is Metal Gear Solid considered a role-playing game?
No, it's an action game. It's an action game, almost like what's that other game, Splinter Cell?
Oh yeah, those were not considered RPG. Right?
No, but that game grew me up.
But how come
that game put hair on my chest?
Which one?
The first Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah,
1998.
Metal Gear Solid 2 was the one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 had a moment where it really messed with your mind. When Homeboy was naked and handcuffed and you're trying to escape, then you just keep getting weird calls from the general saying weird stuff. Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going on? You're just saying weird stuff to you, and like glitching out, just like it was like creepy, man. It was weird. It was hella weird. But
he could have kept going, make your Metal Gear, and done some shit like that. He never did.
Well, he did. He did.
First
of all, in Final Fantasy, in Metal Gear Solid 1, the Psycho Octopus, what's his name? Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis messed with our minds. Me and my boy Ruben were playing that together. Rest in peace. And yeah, he passed away in 2005. Me and my boy, he actually put me on to Final Fantasy 7. He made me want to one-up him on all his cool stuff he got, But and I actually did, to my credit. But I tell you what, Metal Gear Solid playing against Psycho Mantis, and you had to unplug your memory card because he could read it. He knew he could read your memory card. He'd say stuff like, "Oh, you're on stage, whatever, in this game." Like he'd like say, and I'm like, "What?" Like he'd get into your head. He would know what you're gonna do. You had to unplug your controller and put it in player 2. You had to do crazy stuff. Like that broke the game. That broke the third wall right there.
That was Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid 1, yeah, in 1998.
No way.
Psycho Mantis. That broke the wall between player and
console.
And console for sure. Like, that was crazy.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that one game that received a lot of recognition that was considered a role-playing game on the Xbox? It was like
I actually didn't have an Xbox, but
no, it was called Kev, you remember that game where I bought it for like one day and I returned that shit because it was like Alien-like, Halo-like.
Oh, I think I know what you're saying. A Mass Effect, right?
Mass Effect. That's
Mass Effect. That was huge.
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Yeah, that was huge when I was at UCF. I was at UCF
dog.
from about 2006.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't like it one bit. I did not like Mass Effect at all. It was like very weird, very. I didn't like it. It was very. I didn't have fun with it. I just didn't like it.
It's hard to get into it.
So my top 3 RPGs of all time would be. They're not in any specific order, but Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger was dope.
Chrono Trigger is like one of my top.
I love those tech attacks, team tech attacks.
Yeah, the team tech attacks. The music,
awesome.
The music,
the story was dope.
Yeah,
that was dope as
well.
well.
The music was definitely what made up the game, along with the story.
Yeah.
So everything that went perfectly well with the game is how the game was created. So I definitely appreciate that.
I'm gonna put that on there. It's just that I think I beat it, but I can't remember beating it. Like I remember you come back, you do like this time travel. You come back.
Yeah.
And I remember that part, and I remember certain parts, but I can't remember the actual ending. But I love that game, though.
Hey Siri.
I love that game. I love that game. Suikoden 3. Suikoden 3. You can get up to 108 characters. Suikoden 3. Oh my goodness. The funny thing is, I don't even remember the story much, but I remember the characters. The characters were amazing. Mm-hmm. They all had their own personalities. They were, I was trying to get like, the whole point is you're trying to get everyone you can to join you, right? Mm-hmm. All 108. So So that was the dope part of it. And sometimes the battles would be crazy because you have so many. I think you could have, was it like 5 characters at the time? And I remember I had 2 ninjas and they do tech attacks too and stuff like that. Suikoden was dope. Suikoden 3 was dope. I just don't know. It's just not that memorable to me for some reason. But it was dope. It was hella dope.
So I think the top 2 is Final Fantasy, Chrono, and then probably add.
Man, I played a little bit of Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story was pretty fucking good. And what's the other one? Xenogears. Yeah. For PlayStation 1. Up till now, that game's worth $50 for PlayStation 1.
Really?
It's really good, man. You could play as a mech or as the human inside on its own. Like, it was really good. Really, really good. As a matter of fact, people would bring it to Broward College and play it there. I actually saw the ending of the game there at Broward College in the game room.
Way.
Yeah. We were all watching it and stuff. Instead of watching an actual movie. The game was epic, man. The mechs were epic. The game was epic. The story was epic.
That's dope, man.
Xenogears is up. It was a Xenosaga. Xenosaga. Was it Xenogears or Xenogears is the one for PlayStation. And Xenosaga was they made like 3 or 4 games for PS2, I believe. It's one of those. You could just swap the names, and it's one of those ways. But that was an amazing game. Jeez. And it's made by Square.
Is it?
Vic, I highly recommend you get Xenosaga for PS1.
Xenosaga?
PS1 Xenosaga. Amazing game. I'm going to put that up there. Even though I didn't personally beat it, I've seen it being beaten, and I have played it. I'm going to put it up there as one of my favorites. I'm going to put it up there. I really can't make up my mind on top 3, but Tactics is my favorite. And I'll leave it there. 7, Final Fantasy 7 for a place it holds in my heart is my first one that I played. And how much I grind and how much I loved it. I'm going to put Final Fantasy 7 up there too. So that's 2 out of 3. And for third place, I can't put my finger on it, but Rogue Galaxy is really enjoyable, really fun. I might put Rogue Galaxy as my top third, maybe. But I had fun playing so many RPGs. It's really tough for me to decide.
I really like Final Fantasy X too.
Oh, 10 was amazing. Very amazing.
That was like amazing. The father of modern day RPG.
10.
It was like the biggest hype for RPG because that's Titus, right? That's Titus.
Titus, yeah. What would you say a modern RPG is, though?
3D RPG.
Like which one?
Because
I'm gonna tell you this: play Xenogears PS1. It's very modern. You free roaming. You get into fights. There's a square. There's like triangle button to do this, square button to do that. You know, it's like that. You know, it's by square. It's almost like a Kingdom Hearts. It was PS1. You know what I mean? And also Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon was also like an intuitive. You have to time everything. Legend of Dragoon. I actually didn't beat that game, but I heard it was amazing. I owned it before, but I didn't beat it. It's like, honestly, I would go back and get all these games, man, and give them another shot. Because I don't think they make games like that anymore.
No,
you know? And those games are like hundreds of hours long. Xenosaga was known for that.
I want to check out that Zero Gear, man.
Yeah. Just type that in if you can.
What about Legend of Zelda? Was that
Legend of Zelda? Yes, it's an action RPG, I believe. You would call it action RPG. And my boy Ruben, once again, I would watch him play that. You know, I had a Nintendo 64 at one point, but I did not have it for a long time. So, I watched him play that, and it was amazing. You talking about Ocarina of Time?
Oh,
yeah. I saw him play the hell out of that. I played a little bit of it. Very fun game.
Yeah.
Excellent how you have to play the right tune. You could do a little time travel and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
Definitely a great game to have.
Yep. Definitely up there.
Especially when you become like young Link to adult Link.
Yeah.
That was like transformation. That was like Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. The lore was larger than life, and I was new to the whole thing back then. We're talking 97, 98, around that time. Yeah, that stuff was amazing, bro. I don't think kids can understand that the magic that it was, and it was also difficult too. I don't think games are as difficult anymore, and I could be wrong, but I'm not saying it's a good thing to have games difficult. Like I remember playing Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 5, and the story was great, but like you're just dying to find a save point. You know what I mean?
Right.
But nowadays you could just pause and save. You know, in a lot of the modern games, you just pause and save. You know, but back then you were just dying to get to a save point. Like even if you had to take a piss, you were afraid to take a piss.
Not only that, you would leave the game console running for 24 hours until you come back to save. Or you put a blanket over the gaming console so your parents wouldn't know that your game console is on.
Yep, exactly.
So you just hide it to make it seem like the game is on, and then you come back. You're like, all right, now I gotta find a saving spot.
I remember that. I actually remember doing stuff like that. Man, it's crazy, man. The funny thing is, I wouldn't even know what advice to give parents if I had to go back in time. But we lived some magic. Like, put it this way: those games were so affected me so much, helped me mature at that young age. I was like, wow, open up my mind. It's the same feeling I had when I saw The Matrix. I saw The Matrix in '99 when it came out in theaters, and I sneaked to see it because I wasn't 17 yet. I was still a kid, and I snuck into it while my family was watching like 10 Things I Hate About You, or whatever teen movie they were watching. Right. All my family was there. I snuck into The Matrix, and it's a 3-hour-long movie, so they couldn't even find me when their movie was over.
Oh my God! Get out of here!
Yeah, they couldn't even find when the movie was over, and it blew my mind so much. I was not even like, I didn't regret it. It was the craziest thing I've seen. Like, it blew my mind so much. And I went back to school to tell my friends about it. They're like, what? It just seemed like some weird movie, whatever. Right. And then when everyone eventually watched it, it was crazy. Like, I'm glad for the effect it had on culture. Since then, we've never looked back since then. Like, it's changed everything. The Matrix. I actually snuck in to see it a second time. Yeah. Twice I snuck in to see it in the movie theater. That's how good it was. I just couldn't get enough. I could not get enough. I take my hat off to them. The sequels I also saw, but I didn't have to sneak in to see those, but not really a huge fan of the sequels, to be honest. That original one has all the magic to me, in my opinion. So I just put that there. I think I did own all 3, though. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how you think of a game or a movie and you can remember. Now you can remember what you were doing when that came out, where you saw it, how you felt when you saw it.
Right.
And if you didn't remember, if you didn't speak about the movie, you probably wouldn't even have many memories of that time period. You probably would be like, oh, I can't even remember, I can't even remember what it was like. But the minute I mentioned like how I snuck into the Matrix, I could almost remember what I was wearing. I could remember the line to the movie theater. I could remember the whole layout of the movie theater.
No way.
I could remember everything, my friends that were there, everything. Like, I remember the whole night, now that I brought it up. So it's just crazy how memory works like that. But yeah, if you guys haven't played...
Did you have N64?
I had it briefly. I had GoldenEye, I had Mario Kart. I had it briefly. And then what I did, I actually traded it in to get a PlayStation because I wanted Tekken and I wanted Metal Gear and Final Fantasy VII.
What was your favorite N64 game? One of your favorite N64?
I'll tell you what, we played the shit out of some wrestling games too for 64. I think it was like WCW something or the other, WWF. We played the shit. It was a bunch of us kids. Whenever there was parties, we were playing one of those wrestling games, or we were all playing GoldenEye. We played the shit out of GoldenEye, and I gotta say thank you for Nintendo for making a 4-player console. PlayStation only had 2 controllers. So when we played PlayStation at parties and stuff,
that was revolutionary.
Yeah, when we played PlayStation at parties and stuff, we'd just play like Need for Speed and Tekken and stuff. But it, it's only 2-player. But when we busted out the N64, we could play Mario Kart with 4 people. We could play a wrestling game Melee with 4 people. Like, those wrestling games are so much fun. You could team up, pick up a chair while your friend's holding the guy and hit him with the chair. It was just amazing. Team up on a body slam or something. It was great. And then GoldenEye was just it. GoldenEye was our favorite game. Like, we played the crap out of GoldenEye. And I don't know why, but to this day, people still have fond memories of GoldenEye. It was it, man, back then. Now you look back at it, you're like, oh, this looks like a shitty game and it's slow. But back then, it was everything.
Did you remember playing the first Super Smash Brothers?
First Super Smash. Yeah, I remember that. Are you talking about GameCube?
N64.
Oh, N64. I believe so. Yeah, I did. The thing is, when I gave up my 64, I really didn't pursue. I didn't have it anymore. So, if I played those games, it was at like my cousin's house. My cousin John Derek. It was at his house or something. So I really didn't pursue it, but I do remember playing Smash Brothers. I do remember that. And more. The one I remember even more was playing it on GameCube.
Oh yeah.
Because my buddies had a GameCube and they were just crazy for that game. So I do remember it for that. But I tell you what though, when I got into PlayStation, man, when I traded in for the PlayStation, I was a die-hard PlayStation guy after that. I was Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear. Those are my 2 favorites at the time. We're talking 97, 98. Tekken. I had Tekken 3. Tekken 3 was my all-time, like, oh shit, like party game. Fighting. I just loved it. Tekken 3. I remember I had the strategy guide. My cousin's strategy guide. I literally had that for a year. I just carried it to school with me and just look at all the moves. I thought Tekken 3 was revolutionary. So, and a lot of Tekken people, Tekken 3 is their favorite. If you got to think back in time, it was just special. It was something special. I remember playing the Tekken 2 demo to death with friends. The demo where you only have like 2 or 3 characters you can use. Tekken was just used to me. And I actually, when I was a little kid, I had a cousin that had Virtua Fighter 1. So I remember playing Virtua Fighter 1 when I was a little kid on my cousin's computer. He was a computer guy. He's like, oh, check this out. And Virtua Fighter 1. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then we went on vacation to Jamaica in an all-inclusive hotel. So we were playing Virtua Fighter 2 came out at the time for Sega Saturn. Me and John Derek were playing that at like 4 in the morning. Like, the kids were loose. That hotel is called Beaches. I'm going to give a shout out to Beaches Hotel in Negril, Jamaica. It was all-inclusive, but we did whatever we wanted. Like, we were shooting pool, getting a burger at 5 a.m., playing Virtua Fighter 2. We played Virtua Fighter 2 to death on Sega Saturn. This is like 97. I think this was 1997. This might have been 1996 or 1997. Yeah. No, we were playing Virtua Fighter 2 in Jamaica. We played the shit out of that. We're staying at a hotel for families. It's all-inclusive. So once you pay to get in, you can eat however much you want, do whatever you want. But there was even water sports. Like, there's like water bikes and stuff you could rent out. It was the most amazing experience I've had in my life. And that being said, I haven't gone to any other all-inclusive hotels like that. My cousins here have. My other friends have. They've been to Atlantis. I've only toured Atlantis, but I've never stayed there. So back then in 1996 or 1997, that hotel had a game room with Sega Saturns all set up. And me and my cousin played shit out of that. It was cool, man.
What was your favorite multiplayer game?
Oh man,
What's going in?
man. To be honest, my buddy Ruben. Like I didn't because I basically gamed by myself unless my friends came over and stuff. Like I was mostly by myself playing like hardcore RPGs and stuff like that. But or fighting games. I love fighting games. But my buddy Ruben absolutely loved Power Stone. Like he absolutely loved Power Stone for Dreamcast, and I think that was an amazing game. Actually, it was an amazing game. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I say like Mario Kart is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah. Mario Kart. We played the shit out of Mario Kart, dude.
Right.
I mean, that was one game where girls, would also play. Because a lot of times girls didn't play wrestling games. They didn't play GoldenEye with us, none of that stuff.
Right.
But when we played Mario Kart, all the girls would play with us,
Right.
So, yeah. We played the shit out of Mario Kart. But yeah, also the whole Capcom phase too, that was a big thing.
Oh, the fighting?
Yeah, Capcom. The Marvel vs. Capcom and all that stuff, that was huge. I remember going to arcades back then.
Crazy Taxi was my favorite arcade game.
Crazy Taxi was dope. Crazy Taxi was dope.
So my brothers and I, we would go to the arcade called Bigfoot's Arcade in Margate. Same arcade that Kevin and Kyle used to go to when they were little too.
Mm.
We probably ran into each other without even realizing it. But there was the game Crazy Taxi, the arcade version there.
Mm.
And when I first played it, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. This is probably one of the funnest games we've ever played. We will always take turns. So there was this guy that was kind of manipulating the game by switching first gear to reverse to switching back to first gear.
Mm.
What that would do is create a boost every time. Because the car had 3 gears with the reverse. It was 4 gears. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So he would do from reverse to 1 so many times that the car would just like start boosting, and we were like, how the hell is he doing that? So when the game came out for the Dreamcast, my brothers and I were just like trying to figure out how to do that on the game, and we mastered it. So we finished the entire game just like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. I'll tell you what. Time Crisis. I don't know if you remember what time. Oh my god. Time Crisis and Left 4 Dead, or whatever it's called. Those games were huge, man, in the arcade for me. Me and my cousin, man, John Derrick. Oh man, those games were huge. Like I can't remember how many quarters I spent after I went down or something. He was still left in, and I'm trying to put my quarters back in to jump back in and help him, as my cop partner and stuff. That game was amazing. We could take cover. We could take cover and hide behind stuff to reload. Man, that was an experience. I spent they got my money. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember playing Tekken 3 in huge lines in an arcade before, and people had their quarters already. But Time Crisis was like, I think it took way more of my money, to be honest, because just the fact that you wanted to jump back in and help your buddy, you wanted to help your partner out.
Right.
It was huge. I definitely say that was one game I definitely remember spending a ton of money on, like just throwing quarters away.
Right.
So anyway, this right here that I'm drawing, I'm gonna be releasing this. If not tonight, then tomorrow. It's about 5 days of work, and it's a story I'd like to call Desmodus, Legend of the Tengu. So when you see it, it's gonna remind you of another character, and I'll tell you why. Because it is. It's basically my take of another character, another hero. It's my take of it. So you'll see it, and I'm not gonna put too much work into it because it's a fan thing, and to be honest, I'm just gonna put this out on YouTube for free. So if you guys want me to rework this and make a graphic novel and stuff, I'm down for it. If I get 1,000, let's say 5,000. If I get 5,000 patrons on my Patreon, and you guys want that, I'm down. I'll do it. I think that would be worth my while. Or if I get enough money sent to my Cash App or PayPal, in that case, I would take it on. But until then, this is just a short comic I'm going to put online, voice over it, and hopefully you guys like it. Yeah, let me shout out my links again. My links should be, I did not really edit the title of this video too much. I know I can go back in and edit it. Let me see if I can go back in. I know I can, but I'll just say this again. My links should be in the video. But if not, it's patreon.com/JoelArmour, JoelArmour. It should be under the title, in the description. So that's my Patreon. I have lulu.com, spotlight JoelArmour. If you want to donate to help an artist, it's cash.app /money JoelArmour. My paypal.me JoelArmour. Add me on my Facebook, like my Facebook art page, JoelArmour Art, facebook.com/joel.armour.art. You can add me on other social media too. I'm not going to shout them out here because, I mean, my Instagram is Joel_Armour, and so is my Twitter. But if you really want to reach me, you can. My Gmail is also listed, I believe, in my YouTube about me. But you can definitely reach me in those other places. Also have a Thanos versus Hulk video that's just roughly done. No facial controls, no nothing. Very roughly done. And it took me hours to render it, by the way. So I'm a huge Hulk fan. And I love to be able to do more of that stuff. So if you guys want to support me, I can give you a dope, what Marvel didn't give you, I can give you. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. I'm a huge fan. Right now, after this, I'll be going back to, I'm also making a video game, which I'll be going back to in about a week or so. Until then, I'm working on I'm trying to develop a muscle system like they do in the movies. The new thing they've been doing. I'm trying to work on that. And when I master that, I might see how I might apply it. Maybe some blend shapes from it into my game. But I'd love to be able to make a high quality Hulk versus Thanos or high quality content. I'm a huge fan of the arts. I'm an artist, traditional and 3D. So, I want to give you guys some dope content. So you let me know if you guys are up for it. Let me know, and you let me know by donating. You know what I'm saying, or being a patron, going on my Patreon. If I get enough patrons, I'll do all my all my streams right there, everyday work right there, because I'll be working for you guys. So, but yeah, that being said, back to the RPGs. Squaresoft, Square Enix, if you're listening, okay, I loved Final Fantasy XII's gameplay, but I did not care for the story. I'm going to say it again. I did not care for the story, but I love the gameplay. If you guys give Final Fantasy Tactics the treatment, the realism of 12 with the PlayStation 5 graphics, the Final Fantasy 7 level of quality, if you do that, I'm there. Even if you don't do it to that level, I'm still there. Tactics is my game, okay? And if you do Final Fantasy 6 Remake, I'm also there. But if you do Tactics, I'm there first. I'm just letting you know. if you do tactics, and trust me, there's a lot of us fans. I see live streams of AI battles on tactics all the time. Tactics was a gem, a real gem. Let's put that out there. Currently, Vic and these guys, they're playing tournaments, weekly tournaments on Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, on Switch, Nintendo Switch. That's what they're doing. I play a little Final Fantasy VII. I haven't touched it in over a year though, because I wanted to make my own game. I haven't touched it in over a year because I've been trying to make my own fighting game. Actually, it's a grappling game, wrestling game. If you guys want to support me, you definitely can. And I will show you progress as I do that. Currently, I had the game to a really advanced point, but I do have to go back in and remake my animations and characters. So I kind of just took a step back for a second to do that. A little burnt out.
A little bit?
Maybe. I just didn't want to see it.
For a while.
I just didn't want to re-import everything back in again.
Where are you going?
At the moment. But
Came back
I will be. You guys heard the rumors. Sega did a little tease, like if they were probably going to make a Virtua Fighter 6.
You want one?
You taking the pull-up bar back, dog? All right.
Yeah, you can have one.
We all trying to do pull-ups down here, though.
Well, it's going to cost you. You got to clean the dishes.
Clean. I cleaned everything I used. I don't know what other dishes there are.
What are you talking about? Clean like the bitch. Well, who's the bitch?
When he says clean the dishes, he probably means if there are dishes in there, which I didn't use to clean them. That's probably what it means. In any case.
I know, right? He didn't even clean his own ass to begin with. Dishes.
I'll just put it on record. I definitely clean whatever I use. So.
Nah, ain't you, dog.
Yeah. I'll put that there. In any case, weird live stream. Let me finish this up. Like I said, this is just a really fast 5-day comic. So I'm not going to put too much work into all these. Just say that.
Hey Joe.
Is that copywritten content?
So,
Yeah.
it's Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just working on this stuff. I can shut off the live stream now, but sometimes I just turn it on just to stream what I'm doing. But I think the conversation is pretty much over. I couldn't give you a solid top 3 of my RPGs. I really couldn't. But you know a couple of them.
This is a good game. You still live?
Yeah, I can shut it off though.
It's up to you.
Shut it off. So you guys can talk your shit, man. Shut it off so you guys can talk.